You notch an arrow, and you're about to draw back your bow to fire upon the monster when the torches dim, and then everything plunges into darkness. You're not unconscious because you can hear Avis's what? Avis's. You're not unconscious because you can hear Avis's voice chanting to her goddess, and can still feel the bowstring beneath your fingers and the floor beneath your feet. Oh, this might be one of those. Where did I see this? Definitely. Oh yeah, I remember it. There was this scene when well, not me, the wizard from our first game, whose name I completely forget right now. I don't even know if he ever gave us his name, whatever. But he and Narissa, the other Alathian priest we were with in the first game, Wizard's Choice, we enter a corridor in like our minds or something when we are a vampire or something like that, and there is a place where there's like ultimate darkness or something, where like if you just walk in, the souls there will attack you. But the Alathian priest, then Narissa uses some like Alathian priest magic which like brings about light. Is that what's happening here? Blinded, you think? Egra, help. Oh wait, so we're just blinded. Okay, this might be different. I don't think it's the same thing as that situation. I think it's just like a blinding spell, I suppose. Over Avis's chanting, you hear the slithering sound that you have come to associate with the Thogian monster's movement. You fire your bow in that direction and hear the cracking sound of your arrow striking stone. Obviously a miss. And then as suddenly as it descended, the darkness lifts. You can see again, but the monster is gone. You twirl around, no sign of him. Darkness spell, says Avis, one of the Thog's favorite. Be careful, the thing could be invisible. Seriously? Let me out of here, shouts Sir Ligard from a few cells up. Give me a sword and I will smite that horror. Give a man a fighting chance. I recognize the man as one of the Duke's knights. Wait, I legitimately don't remember who Sir Ligard is. At first I thought it must be like outside the castle or something, so I didn't really pay much attention to it. But now they're putting it like someone we met along the way, like seriously met, and it says one of the Duke's men, so I legitimately don't understand. I don't remember who this guy is at all, even though they give us a recap. I legitimately don't remember. I recognize that man as one of the Duke's knight, you say. Yes, I know of him. Yes, no, I know of him, says Avis in a voice that tells you that Sir Ligard isn't her favorite of the Duke's men. As for the abomination, since that is not very far, what do you do? Listen for the monster. I think listening would be a good idea. Morale decreases when you stop and listen for the monster. You, sir, let me out of the cell, says Sir Ligard. Shut your mouth or trying to determine where the monster went, you say. How dare you tell a knight to shut his mouth, yells Sir Ligard. A knight that is presently behind bars, says Avis. You have no right to make demands. I am Sir Ligard, the Tenacious. Oh, he's about to die. I think he might be about to die. I was knighted by Sir Proudheart of Jindar himself. I'm only in here for my fool drunkenness, but I'm sober now and need a sword in my hand. Through the bars of his cell, he points at the short sword behind the fallen guard. Is he gonna keep saying? Is he gonna keep speaking? Gods, the thing could be invisible and I cannot hear a thing with all this yammering, you say. I was a fool to bother listening with these people here, you think. Screams echo from deeper within the chamber. Did you hear that? Did you hear that over our yammering? Says Ligard. It hasn't left. No way out of that direction. It's going to have to come back this way. Don't let me die helplessly and pathetic like the others. The abomination seeks easy prey among the prisoner, says Avis. We must kill it now before it gets too strong. Let me out. Ligard repeats and give me a cold steel so I can put my arm to proper use. He again points at the short sword on the floor. What do you do? I think letting Ligard out. Go after the monster now without Ligard. Try to lock the monster in the dungeon and get help. I was about to let Ligard out because I thought like he is a knight as much as shit he might be, so he might actually be able to help us with this whole situation. But now that there's a option to lock the dungeon, I think there might be a thing where if I let Ligard out, he might just lock us in the dungeon. This might get me killed, but let's try this one because I think this is the best option in my mind. Try to lock the monster in the dungeon and get help. Monster is cornered. I say we lock it down here as we get aid from the knights of the castle, you say. I am a knight, shouts Ligard. I offer my aid. I better we muster a small army, you say as you begin jogging towards the exit of the dungeon. Quickly, you urge. I will not leave a man to die, says Avis as she reaches down and picks up the keys and short sword from behind the corpse of a fallen guard. Grim. Draw close to Avis. He might keep the monster busy, you whisper. I heard that, shouts Ligard. That's funny. Avis scowls at you, her eyes hard, and you feel a pang of shame. She inserts the key as she hands the sword to Ligard through the bars. She opens the door. Liggard smiles at her. For a woman, you are wise. Your attention is drawn away by the sound of slithering. You look over, see the monster at the end of the hall, moving towards you, and then, like before, everything goes dark. Not this again, you shout, or at least you meant to. However, you do not hear your words. Instead, you don't hear anything. Blind and deaf. Egra, counter this. I'm working on it. The spell is powerful, says Egra. Something in front slams into you, a glancing blow, and then it's gone. Was that Sir Liggard pushing past you? Now you feel a grip around your arm. You put your hand over it. Smooth skin. It must be Avish. She's pulling you. You follow her lead. You feel the cold bars of the door cells as you brush by them. She's leading you into a cell. You pull the bars and you grab the bars and pull, feeling the door swing. The vibration as it slams shut. You hope it's locked, although you have no audio clue. Are they locking me into a cell so that the monster goes after me? Because if that's the case, Avis is a very hypocritical individual, it would seem. Though I'm still not mad at her if she is doing that, because whatever her reason would be, and I'm mad at her as an individual, but there's no hatred so far. I'm mad at her, I suppose, if she's doing exactly what I'm just saying, locking us in a cell to try and get us killed so that they can escape. Then in that case, I'm mad, but I'm not hateful as I'm usually towards Kriya, because it's whatever. It's whatever. It's bad. It's bad for us. I'm not simping over Avis here. All right, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that it's not humiliating. It's death either way, and Kriya has almost gotten us killed multiple times, and so at least it's not humiliating. It's death, but it's not humiliating at least. Now what are we doing? You grab the bars as it slams shut. You hope it's locked, although you have no audio clue that it did. Then Avis is pulling you along. Your outstretched hand soon hits the cold stone of a wall. You suspect you're in the back of the cell. Egra, can you see where is the thog spawn? A hint to your voice comes quickly as a vice-like tightness grabs your leg. Thirdly, a tentacle. With only a moment, only a few options come to you. What do? I think casting a slippery spell would work. But it's on my leg, then she might just go into another leg. And since I cannot see, wait, that might be bad actually. I was about to transform into the bat, but then again I can't hear, and that's how bats fly around, so that would be stupid. So let's just cast slippery on her leg. You're yanked off your feet and begin to sliding across cold stone. Lubricate my leg. You shout out loud in your panic. The tightness on your leg slips down your calf and your foot, and then off. White glow pushes back the darkness. Praise the protector, comes Avis's voice from behind. You can hear and see again. Quickly you scramble to your feet and retreat to the back of the cell. Avis's voice hands are outstretched and glowing white. Stay close, says Avis. Alethea is generous with the mercy today. You don't need any further encouragement. You nestle in near her. Where is Sir Liggard? The monster is outside the cell, its bulbous body pulsating over a muscular corpse. Sir Liggard, it must be. Fucking hell. I thought he escaped without us and just locked us in here or something, but as I guessed, the best option... See, I gave the best option to Alethea, the Alethian priest Avis, but she didn't take it. She didn't take my good advice. I gave good ass advice that, just fucking leave the fucker here, and if you don't want to leave him here, just unlock the cage and let's book it. Just book it. It would be so much simpler to just book it, The fucking situation got so much fucked because they're fucking stupid ass fucking... What the fuck, dude? The short sword you gave him is on the ground, caught out there in the open without vision and hearing. He probably died without a fight, a pathetic end to a man who spent his life training for combat, as knights do. Notch an arrow. The tentacle shoot out towards you, but strikes an invisible barrier a meter from your throat, causing white sparks. Avis flinches as though pained by the impact. Draw back your bow and fire through the bar. Sink an arrow into the loathsome body of the monster. It quivers but continues to feed. You shoot it again. This time it leaves the now bloody, faceless corpse of the Sir Liggard. See, if she took my advice, this situation would have been so much easier. And slides over closer to your cell and punches 4 tentacles at you. More white sparks blast out as the tentacles are repelled. Avis is gasping now, her face flushed and cheeks running down her... sweat running down her cheeks. Hold on, you shout as though she needs you to tell her that. The monster slides up onto the bar. His fangs scrape against the metal. This tentacle grabs the bar, begins to bend them. The iron makes a terrible groaning sound. You shoot again, this time aiming into its tooth maw. The arrow sinks into what might be its lip. The monster quivers but otherwise appears unperturbed. Bars bend more and the monster begins to compress itself, starting to squeeze into the cell. Egra, smite it, you say. Remember the time in the moat when Egra blasted a tentacle monster similar to this one? Not yet, says Egra. A little closer and my face will be gone, you reply as you shoot it again. This time a tentacle is in the way, your arrow pierces through it. No, gasps Avis. She flexes a finger, which are no longer glowing. Perhaps sensing that the shield is down, the monster whips out a tentacle and snatches Avis around the waist. The priestess raises her mace, but the monster yanks her into the bar with a clang. Avis drops her mace as her body goes limp. The monster scrapes its teeth toward the bars as it tries to pull Avis through. Egra, smite it, you shout as you charge forward. The monster lashes out with a tentacle, but you dive under it and roll up from a somersault. What? You dive under it and roll up from a somersault? Wait, how does that work? So a tentacle is coming at us, we dived under it, and then we did a somersault on the ground? We dived under it, we didn't dive over it. How are we somersaulting on the ground? The tentacle encircles your waist. Instinctively, you reach through the bars, scratch the soft bulbous monster? Why are we scratching it? What do you mean instinctively? Who instinctively tries and scratch a monster? That's so weird. Honestly, at this point, I should be trying and jump through its like its grass while it goes for the priestess and just book it. A boom! There's a sudden release of power out of your hand as the monster sails through the air, slamming into the bars of the cells opposite of you. That's more like it, Egra. You exclaim, more of that. Why are we saying that out loud? I don't think that's a good idea. Squeeze to the bent bar, preparing to squeeze through to press your attack. The monster shudders and then with a surprising speed retreats out of the dungeon. You roll Avis onto her back. A trickle of blood runs down her forehead. Her eyes flutter open. She's fine. Leave her. Do not let the spawn escape. It has retreated back into the castle. You say to Avis, I must pursue it. Heal yourself and get aid. Without waiting for your reply, you squeeze through the bent bars and run out of the dungeon. I felt it, says Egra gleefully. Thog has fully committed his spawn in this world. Now it is time to kill it. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Committed to the... I mean, yes. I thought the whole point of this whole thing was to kill it before it commits itself to this world. I mean, before it takes like full form. But apparently that's not totally not the case. We're just waiting for it to become like OP and then we are going to try and kill it for some reason. But alright, hopefully after this whole adventure ends, they give me lots of gold or deal with the situation with the house. Ruda here? Yeah, I think that's the name of the house that our sister is slaved to or like trapped by. I'm not sure what the whole situation is, but regardless. Let's see. I have been trying to kill it all along, you say. What does fully committed mean? Egra doesn't answer. Up the stairs you go, sprinting and breathing hard. The fresh trail of gore is easy to follow, but even if you didn't have that, you would have been able to track the monster by the screams echoing from the stairs above. If I live through this, you need to help me do something I want to do, you say to Egra. This champion business has been very one-sided. It is not enough to know that you are pleasing my father, says Egra. After the life you have been living, what sort of god did you expect would take you when you die? It's a good question, one that you have wondered about, particularly when you... Wait, that's not necessarily true. When a soul dies, it goes through... There's like 3 things as far as I can... No, there are four situations after death. There's one is the realm of like a prince or the god. These are 2 places you can go to, the realm of prince or a god, where whatever they might do with your soul. That's besides the point. Then there's like collection centers of these gods where they like hold souls and torture them so that they can crush them. And we went to, in the first game we went to a prince, like a demon prince or something. Our soul was sent to there by another demon king, whatever her name was, Nerul, right? So we were sent there. So these are 2 places. The other one is the spiraling staircase, which is like the no violence treaty zone set up by the various gods, and where you can go there, but there's really no end. You can there's just like a middle pathway. It's like an elevator, like stairs elevator. You can go up and enter various realms, and no one can actually pull you out of there or do any violence against you. You can just stay there if you so very desire. And lastly, there's also another place where your soul gets like washed like clean off its memories or something, and then gets sent back for reincarnation. I don't remember exactly of that. That might be just a thing that I'm making up, I feel like, but that might, if I'm correct, that should be the fourth place that souls go to. So yeah, if we kill this Thog thingy, I feel like no other god will take us, and we cannot, even if we enter the spiraling staircase, what are we going to do there? Nothing. And yeah, the reincarnation thing might not work because the Thog will try to snatch my soul and this and that. So I think the best option, honestly, at this point is just to go with Egra. At least Oher wouldn't beat the shit out of us after we die. Hopefully, not sure about that. You can never know with these fuckers.